Happy Friday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode number 28. It is Friday. The weekend is almost here. Today is typically Target restock day, so I'll spend my lunch break trying to catch the card vendor and then make a trip after work. I believe he did stop in stock my nearest Target store on Monday or Tuesday. So I think he's kind of flipped his schedule around. So may come up empty-handed. I did make a run to Walmart last night. That particular store usually gets stocked on Thursday mid-afternoon. I'm not sure exactly what time, but that's kind of what I've figured out based on times that I have gone. They had been there. The vendor had stocked. There was quite a bit of baseball. There was archives. There was a new football, like Donruss Elite Football, which I haven't seen, so that must be new this week. There was some other stuff. It was actually, pretty well stocked. There were stickers, tags for Panini Illusions. Obviously, those were all wiped out. So struck out in that trip. No mail yesterday, so the card count stands a little over 487,000. So the goal of 500,000 is within reach. Hoping to reach that 500,000 mark by the end of September. So be pretty nice going into the fourth quarter already having reached the yearly goal. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about buying or selling. And the reason that I bring this topic up is somebody had tweeted out, actually it was my buddy Andy up in Buffalo, tweeted out who to buy, who to sell. And he mentioned sell Fernando Tatis Jr. Somebody had responded, why sell Tatis? I jumped in, and I agree, sell Tatis right now, because he's hot. He's super hot. The market most likely will not be this high. It may maintain for a little while if he continues hitting like he has. But what goes up always comes down. And that's true in our short attention span collecting minds. Hot players don't stay hot. The hobby doesn't, certain parts of the hobby don't stay hot for an extended period of time. So now would be a great time to sell Tatis. And the guy who responded, why sell Tatis? Well, he's also a Tatis PC guy. That's his personal collection. So it's a little different when you disagree with a buy sell point, but it's part of your PC. And we actually went had a good conversation in private messages based on the thought of buying and selling. So it takes me back to about maybe 2 years ago on the blog. I started a column, who to buy and who to sell. It only lasted, I think, maybe 2 articles because it made me feel dirty. And the reason it made me feel dirty was that it was basically to help who I had in my collection, who I was prospecting, because at times I have dabbled into prospecting, and I don't mean high-end PSA 10 first Bowman Chrome autos, that sort of thing. I'm talking base cards. One of the players I highlighted was named Esteury Ruiz. He's a fringe prospect for the San Diego Padres. I have a bunch of Elite Extra Edition autos, die-cut autos of him through Panini points. I had a bunch of Panini points from redemptions that were taking really long to fill. So I just said, give me the points. I went shopping. There wasn't much, so I'm like, I'll take a flyer on this guy. It's only going to cost me shipping. So I've got about 15 or 20 Esteury Ruiz Elite Extra Edition autos. And then I did buy a PSA 10 first Bowman Chrome refractor auto for like 40 or 50 bucks. And I thought, now I'll go high end just to, it's a pretty small investment for a player like that. So it was a self-serving purpose to hype buying Esteury Ruiz. And it just felt dirty to continue this practice of who to buy, who to sell, because I still actively flip through dime boxes, flip through quarter boxes in search of rookies that I feel could increase in price from a dime to a dollar. And that has proven true on a few occasions. Picked up quite a few Kyle Tucker rookies. There were some other first Bowmans, and I can't remember who offhand, but some guys that, I sold for like 99 cents. So I bought bulk in these dime boxes. So I think I ended up paying a nickel a piece probably for them, maybe even less. And I sold them for 99 cents. So if they sold singly for 99 cents, that's about a quarter profit for me. If I sold a couple of them, then that price per card goes up. So it's small margins, but it's fun digging through dime boxes and then being able to flip those. It's not something I actively chase or anything like that, but it felt like writing these columns was just hyping players that I had inventory of. With that said, be careful. If you're actively doing this, especially in a high end situation where it's a gem mints, first Bowman Chrome autos and colors and high dollar cards, be careful where you're reading this information, because the people behind these statements could have self-serving purposes where they're only hyping Esteury Ruiz because they have 16 Elite Extra Edition Esteury Ruiz, and they want more people to buy, and then the hype increases, and then the prices increase as well. So that's why I stopped the practice, because it just felt dirty to me, saying who to buy, who to sell, while I have that. So I don't want to name names today. I brought up Esteury Ruiz because I think he was probably part of one of the one or two articles I wrote about this topic, and somebody that I actively have as an example. I don't even think he's a top 30 prospect in the Padres organization. Actually, he is a top 30. He's not a top 10 prospect in the Padres organization. So he may be it someday. But I just wanted to bring this topic up because there was that tweet this week, and Andy's an awesome guy, and I actually believe him on Tatis. I'm with him on that stance because the market right now, in my opinion, is not sustainable. And what I mean by that is there's a lot going on right now that is inflating prices and inflating demand within the hobby. Why there's two reasons that I think that, and they kind of go hand in hand. The number one reason is the pandemic, and we have so much time on our hands. And how many collectors have returned to the hobby after 20 or 30 years? Why have they returned? A lot of the stories are because they have all this extra time. They're not going out. They're not taking vacations. They're not going to sporting events. They're not going out to eat. They're not doing family entertainment because you can't. So what is there to do? Oh, hey, let's go dig through the basement. Let's go through this box of old pictures. Oh, hey, baseball cards from when I was a kid 30 years ago. And now they have kids. They don't have much other activities going on. Hey, this is cool. Brings the kids, reminds dads of their time with their dads in the 80s and 90s. And, you have an increase in new collectors within the hobby. It's driving up demand. So that's the main reason, in my opinion, why the hobby market is where it is at this point in time. And I don't believe it's sustainable because the pandemic will be ending soon. We all hope. It doesn't appear like it's anywhere close as far as, within the next few months by the end of the year. Hopefully 2021, we can kick this and go back to our normal lives. So this height in the hobby could sustain for, another 12 months, maybe. I think it starts, I think by the winter going into 2021, I think we kind of start seeing it slide back, because in this hobby, we have extremely short attention spans. Look at prices of rookie cards and pre-pandemic, because those have shot up as well. Pretty much everything within the hobby has shot up. But right out of the gates, Aaron Judge rookie cards, they're selling for enormous prices. Not right out of the gates, but once he got hot, he's still a superstar, but his rookie cards are, much less than where they were at in 2017. Kris Bryant, I'm a huge Cubs fan. I would be buying, and I will be buying, Kris Bryant because he's not having a great year. He's a few years removed from his MVP and Rookie of the Year seasons, and we have short attention spans in the hobby. And I think that, along with the pandemic, are going to lead to scaling back of the type of demand that we're seeing in the hobby right now. So, in my opinion, I'm selling a lot because there are players that are coming up, and I'm moving cards. And again, I'm dealing in low end base singles, 99 cents, $2 sales. Ian Anderson gets called up. Boom. I make a few sales. Ian Anderson, before he gets called up, he actually had a nice game. Somebody hits a home run. All of a sudden I get alerts on my Clint Frazier comes up and hits a home run. And I think I sold 6 or 7 cards, within a half an hour of that home run. So I'm just trying to stock my store, and now here putting on my seller cap, I'm just trying to stock my store with, kind of the urgency of, okay, who is next in line? Who's going to be coming up? Because once they get the call, there's going to be buyers out there. If they pitch 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, complete game, whatever, there's going to be demand for that particular player. The argument is, well, what if they become the next Mike Trout? Name your superstar player. The chances are it's not going to happen. Look through history. Take a look at your rookies of the year. Take a look at your top 5 rookies from each league over the past couple decades. Look at, and this is a real eye-opener, look up Baseball America top 10 prospects through history. And, that's where a lot of the hype, buy this guy, he's the next, name your player. A lot of those guys didn't pan out, and they're in penny boxes right now. So just be careful. I guess my advice would be careful, buy or sell. And my advice, and this is taking off my seller's cap, this is just as someone who wants to help in the hobby. When you're it's buy low, sell high. I think, in my opinion, Fernando Tatis Jr. is at or near a high point in value. Now, does that mean some of the higher end cards will increase in value? Absolutely could. But I think, in my opinion, that the hype is up there pretty high, and it would be a good time, especially if you don't have much invested. Again, it's buy low, sell high, try to get the most margins that you can. So that would be my advice. And if somebody's super hot, I always sell, especially if it's somebody that I was able to get, on the cheap, just to maximize those margins, and be careful. Andy's an awesome guy, and I would trust every word he says. So I kind of feel bad bringing this topic up based on that one tweet, but that's kind of what got the wheels moving in my head, in my own experience with giving out advice on who in particular to buy and sell. And I don't feel like this episode today, giving my comments on the general practice of buying and selling hot and cold players. But I do want to abstain, outside of the examples I gave, from naming players, because I did feel dirty when I mentioned Esteury Ruiz. I think Mike Tauchman from the Yankees, I think he was part of it. O'Neal Cruz was another one. So, and again, that was like 2 years ago. So I don't even know where to go on that. So yeah, Zach brings up, he's one of the guys that, and there's several. I wasn't picking Zach out or Lauren or any of the others that I've personally connected with that have re-entered the hobby. But there are a lot, and Zach talks about Brian Taylor and Ben McDonald. Ben McDonald actually had an okay. He had, I looked up his stats one day, and I was shocked. Same with Todd Van Poppel. I mean, he had a long career, but those prices out of the gate, those upper deck rookie cards, man, crazy prices. And they had decent careers, and now look at them. Now we look back and we're like, oh yeah, don't be another Ben McDonald, don't be another Todd Van Poppel, when they actually had long sustained, serviceable Major League Baseball careers. They weren't, a flash in the pan like, Brian Taylor was, and that was due to an injury. So Brian Taylor is, one of the guys that, okay, super hot, minor league prospect that didn't even make the majors, and that was because of a bar fight, actually. So yeah, Ben McDonald, Todd Van Poppel, two guys who were super hot in the hobby upon their rookie seasons, went on to have great careers, but their card values tanked. So yeah, fun example. So thanks for sharing that. Coming up today in my hobby world, going to check out Target, see if it's stocked. I'm not going to spend much time. I'm just going to basically pop in, pop out. I had half the day off yesterday, so I had a little extra time to mosey around and try to potentially wait for the vendor. He never showed. So I'm just going to pop in, pop out, not expecting anything. I don't think there's anything released this week that I'm even interested in. Allen and Ginter comes out in a couple weeks. So I will be trying to pick up some Allen and Ginter next week. But that's all for today. Have an excellent Friday. As always, leave any comments below. Visit the website, 1millioncubs.com, and you can always follow me on Twitter at 1millioncubs. Have a great Friday.